many of us don't seem to be aware of the fact that this education system, the school system as we know it now, and the university system as we know it now, is less than 200 years old. Okay, it doesn't have a continuity of thousands of years or anything. It is a post-industrial revolution development where the whole idea was to train up the large numbers of manpower needed to man those factories. So the schools, the underlying principle behind schools, and that spilled over into colleges also, higher education also, was standardization. They did not look at the individual propensities and talents and creativities of students. That was not the object of the exercise. It was to ram them all into a kind of one-size-fits-all thing. And whether it was Eton or whether it was the biggest, so-called public schools, which is actually the opposite. Those were the most expensive private schools in England, or whether it was a cheap local municipal school, they were all achieving the same thing. They were grading the students, standardizing them, dishing out knowledge in terms of standardized modules. That hasn't changed one bit till today. Now, the concern for me is whether it was Microsoft platform, whether it was Google platform or any of these platforms, they're all trying to deliver more and more products into this system. They're not trying to change the system. They cannot change the system. The system is too much entrenched. So here we are talking about, there is a disconnect. Education is seen by people who know. I don't know. I'm an outsider. I'm a former entrepreneur and now I'm an investor. But I'm talking about people like Ken Robinson and Yuval Noah Harari and others who are great philosophers and students of the education sector. What they say is education is in deep crisis because it is not changing at all. And they're talking about the West. We sit here and admire everything in the West, isn't it? We think they're doing everything correct. You should hear what Ken Robinson and Yuval Noah Harari and others of who are studying the Western education system have to say about that system. Okay, and they say it is completely not fit for purpose. It is not preparing because they are not able to envisage the world which is emerging. And what they are saying is, we are trying to educate a child who 14 years or 15 years later is going to come out into a world about which we have no idea. We have absolutely no picture today. So what are we trying to do here in this education system? So my point here is, what worries me is, there is a thing called the echo chamber effect. I think first thing is, I really admire Rajagiri for organizing, and that this is the 71st edition of such a workshop. I say hats off to you, because nobody else is doing this. Nowhere else am I coming across such regular round table like this on this format held. My humble suggestion is, call fewer educationists and call more people from outside the system. Otherwise, you will suffer from what's called the echo chamber effect. The echo chamber effect is you will start hearing yourself. People like you speaking. So everything will be about this platform or this refinement or that refinement. There is nothing new which is going to come out here. So my worry is, I sat here for 2 hours. I didn't hear anything new, and they're all competent people who are accomplished people dealing with that. So I'm not blaming them. I'm merely saying this is part of the system problem. In system theory, there is a maxim: structure determines behavior. So it is not a question of whether a person is good, whether a person is motivated, whether a person is sincere or anything. You put the person into the system, that's the behavior you get. And our education system is designed to behave in a certain way. It will only behave that way. Anybody getting into the system can only behave that way. And if you want to change it, you have to get out of the system, look at it, and then try and change it.